My next guest contacted me via social media, and when I hear stories like this, we have to invite them on the show because this is a very special charity. Let's talk about Sal's Shoes with CJ. CJ, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Gaby. Thank you. Or good afternoon.
Good afternoon now, I think, although the clocks are all wrong here, so I'm not quite sure. It is. You're quite right. CJ, tell me all about Sal's Shoes, please.
So the very abridged version is just over 8 years ago. My son, Sal, hadn't actually been walking that long, and I had already accumulated a bag full of his outgrown but not outworn shoes. Kids tend to outgrow their shoes before they outwear them.
Yes, they do. Their feet grow so fast.
They do, and shoes are expensive and they're built to last.
Yeah.
So generally there's lots of wear still left in them. But I couldn't find a charity that could tell me where exactly his shoes would find their new owners if I donated them. So I set up a charity called Sal's Shoes, and we find new feet for pre-loved children's shoes. And fast forward now, over 8 years, there's over 3 million pairs of children's shoes walking again in 57 countries around the world.
Sorry, whoa, CJ, just reverse that again. How many have you done?
We've reached over 3 million pairs now, and in fact, actually, it's more than that because what I hadn't realised.
You get applause for that one.
Oh, I was like, that's a bad signal.
No, it's applause. It's lots and lots of applause.
It's actually more than that, really, because what I hadn't realised at the time is that as quickly as Sal outgrew his shoes, so does the next child and the one after that, and we now receive feedback from distributions we've held, 2, 3, 4 years ago, letting us know that the shoes are still in circulation. So Sal's shoes are literally being worn until there's nowhere left in them.
So where do these shoes go to?
We have a warehouse in Edenbridge in Kent, and we don't pay to collect shoes in. So as a relatively small charity, still in monetary terms, we'd rather spend the funds we do have on sending the shoes on. So we ask that shoes nationwide be posted, delivered, couriered, dropped off to our warehouse. Where they're sorted, we have loads and loads of just brilliant volunteers who sort shoes every week, and then they are sent out all over the world, but increasingly also here in the UK.
So, and then I know it's 57 countries. Give us an idea of where the shoes end up, please.
All sorts. We are just waiting to start distributing in Nicaragua for children living on rubbish dumps. We've held distributions with school children in Zambia and Ghana. This year we have been sending shoes to Ukraine. Initially winter footwear, and now actually spring and summer footwear, because obviously kids fled their homes in snow boots and winter boots, and now the weather's warming up and they've left all their personal possessions at home.
This is incredible. Okay, so how do we help? What can we do, please?
There's lots of different ways. So you can find out all about us. We've got a website, salshoes.com, or on Instagram, on Twitter. We've got a Facebook page. And there's details on all those sites on different ways to support us. You can send us your shoes. You can donate money. We have a school shoes fund that actually buys new school shoes, PE trainers and Wellington boots for children in need here in the UK. So we're gearing up now for August and then the return to school in September, when we know we'll be very busy.
You just mentioned children in need. Have you been in touch with children in need? Because I can imagine they love this charity as well.
We'll be right on to that.
Yes, I think you should do. I really think you should do, and comic relief as well, because you're doing it around the world. It just seems, we're all fighting against climate change and about waste and fashion waste and fast fashion, and this is so perfect for that as well. I mean, it works on every single level. Your idea.
Absolutely. We're in a consumer society, and shoes are actually so difficult to recycle, actually, because of all the different components they're made up of. And when so many children and families and carers can't afford shoes, it just makes sense for us to pass them on to new feet.
Sal, did you think 8 years ago, when you had the idea, obviously, I'm talking just before you had this idea, did you think that you were going to end up doing this with your life?
No. No, to be honest. I literally just sent off one bag full of Sal's pre-loved shoes, and to be honest, that could have been my good deed done for the year. But I happened to receive back some photographs from where I'd sent them, which was a children's hospital in Zambia, where I had the fortune of going to primary school. And they distributed his shoes and happened to send me back some images of the children wearing them. And one of the little boys had on Sal's very first pair of shoes, and they had become his first pair.
Oh, that's just brought a tear to my eye, CJ.
Well, it's interesting because I've actually got no qualms about acknowledging that charity can be quite selfish. Doing good feels good. And seeing that image made me feel good about what I'd done. But actually, more importantly, I knew it would make my friends want to make a difference. And social media, for all its flaws, of which we're well educated in, when you harness it for good, it can be pretty astounding. And I literally posted that image on my personal social media pages, and the next day was just inundated with messages from friends saying, "Oh my goodness, we've got loads of kids outgrowing shoes. Are you sending some more? How do we get them to you?" And so Sal Shoes was born very quickly after that.
This is incredible. I mean, real honour to speak to you, CJ. I think what you're doing is amazing. Can you just give everybody the details again so they can get in touch with you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's www.salshoes.com. There's also Sal Shoes on Instagram, on Twitter, and we have a Facebook page.
And it's Sal's, as in, I'm going to spell it for everybody just in case. It's SALSSHOES.com. So Sal's Shoes.
Correct.
Such a pleasure to speak to you, CJ. Carry on doing what you're doing because I think it's phenomenal. And do get in touch with children in need. Wouldn't it be lovely if they could help you out as well?
I will do, and we'll keep you posted. Thanks so much for your time, Gaby.
No, real pleasure to speak to you. Thank you so much for being my guest today. Wow, what a charity.